Well. Where do I go from here? Answers in the comments, please. Fucking hell, mate. Oh, dear me. Honestly, one fucking video standing up for myself. Are you joking? Please don't open. Are you joking, guys? Is that all it took? My word. I'm just like, wow. I daren't hope, obviously, because this always happens. But I was just thinking, like, what to do, because I'm going to be towing a line here. I was just pontificating. I thought I may as well put it down in a video. I am still going to put that original video that I didn't do up, because it did concern different parts of that, not the different flavours of narc and all the stuff I was doing my channel about, and the observations I was making. And I've got a lot of work to do, because I was going to do it retrospectively anyway. So now I've got a lot of work to do on that. And I was thinking about those videos, and I was thinking, well, do I bring it out? Do I do it? Or do I want to kick the hornet's nest? Do I want to set them off again? And I'm like, well, if they're going to get kicked off, they're going to get kicked off, and I'm not letting them and what's happened and them running away, well, whatever it is, stop me from doing what I was doing, because I was doing it all trying to do it with a clear heart and clear eyes, and that was the point. I mean, whether I was managing it or not is a different matter, but I was trying, and that's what I'm trying to do. So it's still part of the challenge as far as I'm concerned, and I'm just going to try and still list all the different flavours and all the different things I've seen and the things I want to think about. But I was just thinking, how do I toe the line with that? And then I just thought, well, I don't, do I? I don't. I just keep it all in the light, and I just keep it updated with all of the things that are on the journey that you have to process when doing something like this in this situation. So for now, and try not to be too incendiary at the same time, because obviously I am dealing with a hornet's nest. And one of my thoughts was that the other guys have all got other things, all of them. There's one person in this scenario who hasn't, and that person is the one that will kick off again. That one will, so he will need to feed. He will just physically need to feed at some point. And I don't know how things are going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, me putting a video out is going to change things, probably. Should I put a video out? I don't know. But I'm going to do it anyway, because the worst move is no move in life. Get involved in it as a baseline. So all I could do is just really put out what I'm thinking, and I'm like the only person on the horizon that I'm like, oh shit, in a couple of weeks, not even that, in a couple of days, he's going to have used up his reserves, and unless his little Renfield isn't still feeding him, or everything goes back to how it was, he's going to be in a different place. And he came, when I reached out to him, he was in a dormant stage, and he just started getting fed by Dawson and having that interaction and that daily supply with. Yeah, so the situation with Ricardo was that when I reached out to him, he just had Dawson, and he'd had some sort of setback by what had happened with Dean and everything, and his channel being taken. Had his channel been taken by then? No, it hadn't. But yeah, he'd had a bit of an injury by being kicked out by those guys, and he was very dormant. He didn't want to talk to me at first. He did not want anything to do with me. And then he saw how he was going to get. He started to form his plan, I think, at that point. And that was a bit like the bit in, I often thought of this, in Doctor Who, when she's there with the Daleks, and the guy and Doctor Who's going, don't touch it, and she feels sorry for the Daleks. She feels really sorry for them because they're just all like looking really pathetic and all broken down after their big empire has fallen and their sort of castle had tumbled that they built for themselves. And she reached out and she touches one of them, and it starts the whole thing. And it just carries on, and they just keep coming, and there's millions of them. And she just from that one touch. And so it's just, that's how I remember that happening. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think just carrying on making the videos and keeping it out in the open is enough for some protection at the moment. But I would not be surprised if he gets vindictive. I'd be very happy if he wasn't. I'm not going to be vindictive against him. I am going to be open and honest about what's happened. I'm not going to focus on him necessarily unless there's a reason to. But none of it's going to be done specifically to get at anybody. It's just what's happened. That's all it is. I've just recorded what I could of what's happened. So you relied on me being the better person all the way through, and you banked on me being the better person as to how far you could take it. So now you're going to see that I am. It's not hard to be the better person compared to you, so I'm not like blowing my own trumpet or going off and being all like whatever. But you know, when you really did push it that far, now it's really easy for everybody else on the planet basically to be a better person than you. And so you're lucky, aren't you? You're fucking lucky that it's me doing this and not you. Pretty much my video was done, pretty much. And here I am. I literally just clicked on it for a second, and here we go. I am definitely going to point this one out because obviously part of what I'm going to be doing now is the aftermath, how they behave once they've found that they really can't carry on with immunity at the level that they were doing, because it just got more and more and more. I've got my theories for that, and it's because I think the trolls that we know, the community that we know, it was kind of self-perpetuated. We're all old enough to kind of know how to make it self-perpetuated. Again, like I've mentioned before, it's when you get this massive mental health issue, this massive unsaid, unwritten, manipulative, demanding mental health issue in the form of Ricardo. But here we have an absolute pearler of an example. We've got, I literally only saw it for a few seconds because I just do not have, as you can see even now, and I've done my video as well, I just haven't got the fucking, I just don't give a shit, you know what I mean? But this, I do give a shit about how it works, you know what I mean? How the aftermaths happen, what they're going to do now. I don't particularly want them to be scared. I was actually thinking, oh, you know, he's actually got himself a few subs out of it. You know, say thank you, CPA, and now you can, if he is just going to do his games, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean? I was actually thinking that. I was like, well, you know, he's got his way in the world. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. He has to fucking digitally rape people to do it and lie and cheat his way up there, but now he's still acting like a massive slime ball. Kissing Pace arse. They weren't kissing his arse so long ago. But never mind. Here we go. And that's my thing, is that we can all change our minds on stuff, but it's how they change their minds. It's the worst person in the world to like a literal saviour. Can I take, you're going to take your cock out of my mouth now so I can just kiss your ass for a bit. It's like that. It's fucking unbelievable. But anyway, here he is. He's like, Pace. Sub to this guy, he's normal, he's got normal friends. All these people who I brought over to my channel, they all came from him. Well, I'd like to have a word with this normal guy who's been bolstering your channel and saying that it's all alright and accepting this level of behaviour, because if he's normal and if he's some sort of a family channel, then I'm going to be having a word with him. Just to let him know, and his viewers, what sort of people he's hanging around with. And he was saying stuff like, he was going, oh, Pace, but don't let Ron Delmon know. don't let Ron Damon know about it, because otherwise, which is quite funny in it, Ron, I mean, in itself, because he'll stop it from being we'll not be able to go anymore, we'll not be able to go to these nice places, and we're looking for places to go. We're looking for places that we can go, nice normal places that we can go. Right? So that's what I just heard. Running scared, I suppose, is the answer to that one. And again, with the rewrite, already fearing, already scared, do you know what I mean? Already having to hide and be like, oh, don't let Ron come because the truth will come out then. Do you know what I mean? Stand behind what you've got to fucking say, mate. Do you think Albert does that? Do you think anybody else in this community, do you think any fucking decent troll who isn't on a play? Well, I can think of one actually. Fucking your boyfriend Cyan. He's one of them. But like in general, us lot, you don't have people sneaking around. If they do, it's part of a reason. It's not like, oh, we're going to go and escape. And it's not escaping an evil, terrible tyrant like me, is it? Because you were the fucking tyrants, weren't you? But you've got no reason behind it. You're just a scrabbling little fucking rat bag. Oh yeah, they've got no fucking answer for it. You're just like, oh, if I am just a scrabbly little rat bag, everyone's just gonna fucking accept it. And it's just the way it is. I'm just a scrabbly little rat bag now. Fucking hell, mate. So now they're on the fucking, they're in their exodus, the refugees, the terrible refugee fucking situation. Like, because they've been so fucking hard done by, is it? I wonder what the reason is that they've told themselves, let alone these normal people, that they're going to try and infect. But yeah, running fucking scared. It all started when Cutie turned his fucking comments off. Oh, who's pulling the strings now, Donkey King? So I suppose my question, well, not my only questions, but some of my questions are things like, who's the most scared? And I don't even know yet, because I've only just started thinking about these, but there's all sorts of things to consider, like who's got the most investment, who's put the most in, who had the most to lose, who had the most of their identity in it, who's flipped the most, and so that most of their identity isn't in it anymore, and gonna act like they never were part of it, and they'll probably throw everybody else under the bus, because that's the sort of people they're dealing with, and they know it as well. They know, because I mean, and they're happy with, they're fine with that, don't get me wrong. That level of loyalty is not required in their life. So they're happy to work within that, it seems. And offended when other people, think otherwise, even though they sell it differently, but that's another story. But I'm not bitter. But yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, well, who's going to be doing it? And what are the things that, like, say, the thing that we're thinking about it was, like, thinking about Ricardo. I think there's millions of things. There's so many things, hours and hours and hours of material on his own channel. I'm sure it's still up there. So, like, obviously he knows that a good proportion of these quote-unquote normal guys have been eating his regular and prolonged attacking of a woman on the internet for no reason for a very long time, and these are those same people who have got nice, normal family channels. So given that he's got quite a level of acceptance in the world, I'm wondering what his number one lie is, what his number one thing is that he's so scared of, say, Ron releasing to the world for his new experience as a normal person. And again, is it very telling of how these people go on in life? Rather than dealing with the situation, as we know, they haven't dealt with it at all the way through. There's nothing to really be scared of. If anyone should have been scared, it should have been me with the nightly attacks. Multiple attacks, very nasty. I had a lot of nasty stuff from Puya and also threats of doxing. So really, who should be running away here if there was a real reason to run away? And who are you running away from? Are you running away from me, are you? I thought I was only a 60 IQ, and I also thought that I wasn't qualified. Let's bowl. Yeah, what about that one? Oh, dear me. Fucking beautiful, mate. I don't know what you're having for breakfast, but I'm having fucking revenge. Ha! My question is, was it, having a go at me? Was it having a go at ripping apart the community? What is he so scared the most of, say, this person that he's talking about now, finding out about? I wonder, because they're all scared. They are all shit scared of anything being found out, which we can understand up to a point, you know, because we've all got to be looking after ourselves. And we saw what happened to Hayat, for instance, when you don't fucking look after yourself. And we're all waiting on that fucking, we're all on that fucking knife edge, aren't we? Anyone at any time could probably find you. So there's that. But other than that, like, I don't know about you, but I try and make a point of walking in the light, especially these days. And I think massive change for that. And when Red Bull said to me, why the fuck would prove it? Why the fuck? Why are you doing it? And I was like, do you know what? And so with that was a change for me, a massive change. Everything in the light, there's no need for anything. Even my strategies regarding those guys, I was like, fuck it, mate. They're always like 3 or 4 pages behind me anyway. Save having to wait for them to scrabble and catch up, just fucking tell them what I'm going to do, see what their fucking response is, and then do something different, you know? It's like, walk in the light, there's nothing to be scared of. And he's already now going like stage whispers between the friends at this point, and we're only like a day in, you know what I mean? So it's like whisper, pace, don't invite Ron, you know what I mean? Trying to hide. It's just because he wanted subs, that's as plain as day. He knows that he did all of that to me just for subs. I haven't got a fucking clue, mate, and I don't know how that's going down and what that means. I have no idea what that means for their social cohesion, like for him to be doing that. I don't know. Is he trying to, I don't know, I think it's just probably his normal everyday ways. Is he trying to drive wedges? I know that's what he does. I don't think he is at this point, but yeah, it's fucking beautiful. And my question is to Ricardo or anyone else, which is the thing that you're scared the most of them finding out about? Which is, it's not going to make me vindictively go and attack using that thing, by the way. That's not why I'm looking at it. I'm just looking at it out of interest. Really, I'm just purely out of interest, because there is a lot to choose from there, and you went very hard, very fast, and you kept going and going and going. So it's like, was it one of the early ones that, you know, generated a load of other stuff off it, or was it one of the later ones because it was so extreme? Stuff like that. All right then, that's the end of it for now. Not the end of it, of course, in case you're getting your hopes up, Ricardo. No, not the end of it, sorry. The end of this video for today.